Hey guys, welcome to Thumper Outdoors. If you've never been here before, my name is Trent and I appreciate you coming to watch this video. If you have been here before, well, I appreciate you coming back. So today we're going to talk about my coyote hunting setup. And to preface this video, I should let you know that I'm pretty limited on what I can use here in Illinois. And the reason is there's rules on public land that prevent me from using certain things. For example, I'm not allowed to use a rifle during daytime in the public land places that I hunt. Because of that, I generally only hunt at night on public land here. And then at nighttime, I can't use a centerfire rifle. I have to use a rimfire rifle, and it has to be smaller than .22 caliber. So that limits my caliber choices as well. And we'll talk about my caliber choice when we get to the firearm. But for now, I want to start by talking about my lights. Now, the light kit I use is a Tony TB Edition Night Snipe kit. It's the NS5500 Extreme. Now, sorry guys, the dogs are gonna bark. You know how they are. Now, the thing is, I don't think the NS5500 kit from Night Snipe is different than the Tony TB edition, but I could be very wrong on that, so you're gonna have to double check me. I like this kit a lot, specifically the gun light. The gun light has an extension tube. It comes with a switch that you can Velcro to your gun. It's a very bright light. The extension tube holds two 18650 batteries, and I believe this kit comes with 4 batteries. It also comes with a 4-bay charger. It comes with a standard button click for your gun light on the back there. I mean, it's really a great kit, and like I said, I really like this gun light. It's super bright with the and it has an adjustable focus beam. The light mount is super great because it's micro adjustable on the side and back here, so you can dial it in right perfect with your scope. Again, super happy with the gun light. The headlamp is good, but it leaves some things to be wanted. The headlamp also takes two 18650 batteries, similar to the gun light, and you can buy extra 18650s online, and I'll link all this stuff in the description so you can find it for yourself if you're interested in purchasing. The headlamp takes two 18650s, just like the gun light does. The problem I have with the headlamp is it's fixed beam, so basically once you turn it on, the beam is only what you have. You can't adjust it to make it more focused or more of a flood beam or anything like that. Now, it fits fine and it works great. The battery life on it's awesome also, but it's basically just a turn on, turn off. Actually, I think there's 2 brightnesses, so it's a turn on bright, turn on dim, and then turn off. And it works. I've shined coyotes with it, you know, I've killed coyotes with it. I just want something that's got an adjustable fixed beam, so I do wish this kit had this. Night Snipe Hog Lights offers a headlamp like that, then I might upgrade to eventually. The other thing I carry for lights is I carried a standard headlamp with me that also runs on 18650s. I like the fact that all of my lights run on the same battery. That way I can keep one type of battery with me and just keep them all charged. The white light is nice for recovery, and that's the biggest thing I use it for. Once I shoot a dog, red light is hard to recover. I use the white light to go get them. So that's my light system. It's nothing special, and this light system will work great for public land, private land. I mean, these lights are plenty bright. If you're shooting 400, 500, 600 yards, you could definitely shoot a dog at that far with these. I've been with a buddy of mine who has very similar lights or comparable lights, just from a different company, and I've watched him shoot a dog at 400 yards sitting right next to me. So there's my light system. Now we're going to talk about my calls. I've hunted over a lot of different electronic calls. I have a buddy, matter of fact, a buddy that really kind of got me into predator hunting has, I think, 3 different calls, and he's had a bunch of different calls. This is the only electronic call I've ever had. It's the Johnny Stewart Grim Speaker 2. I'm not even sure if they make these anymore. I know you can still buy them some places, but I don't know if they're still in production. It's a great call. I love it. I can download my own sounds to it. The remote is very easy to navigate. It sticks on the back here. You can pull it off, put it on. It keeps everything in a nice package. It's not anything fancy. There's a lot of fancier calls out there. There's louder calls. This does everything I need for the price. I think you can pick them up right around $100, maybe less. Again, this does everything I needed to do for the price. And one thing I found hunting the public land that I hunt, it's very pressured. There's a lot of guys that go out and shoot coyotes on it, or try to shoot coyotes. There's a lot of calls going. A lot of electric calls, and I think those coyotes get used to hearing certain sounds and certain pitches, and they relegate those, or they relate those to danger. So I actually avoid an electric call as much as possible. Although I have called in coyotes with this call a handful of times on public land, I tend to favor hand calls. Now, these hand calls specifically are few different brands. This one right here is a Burnham Bros, and I like how it sounds, but I'm actually disappointed in it because the insert to make the sound didn't stay glued in very well. And I'm not sure I can actually get it apart to fix it. So that's kind of a knock on that Burnham Brothers. That's the long range C3 Predator. I don't even know how it got knocked loose, but it's definitely loose in there, and I'm not sure how I can fix it. This is another Burnham Brothers call that I like a lot. It's called the Mini Blaster, and it sounds really good. It's super small and lightweight. Let me show you real quick. I'm not super great at this. This is a bite call. They're a little bit more difficult to work than just your standard blow-in, and I have some of those also, but it's super loud for the size of it, and it sounds really good. I've called in coyotes with this. I like this call a lot. I've got a Randy Anderson Primos Kai, I don't know how you say it. I don't use this call a whole lot. It's supposed to mimic a hurt dog. I'm just not very good with it. It's something I need to practice more with. Then this is the first Predator call I ever got. This is a Quaker Boy, and it's called a Super Screamer. And I primarily use this for high-pitched. Sounds. It does sound good if you do, you know, it's more of a jackrabbit, and then if you put a little more pressure on it, that's more of a cottontail. So it does sound good doing all those, but I primarily use it for the higher pitch stuff. And this is my favorite call. Now this is a custom call made by EW Game Calls, and to my knowledge this company is not in business anymore. If it is in business, or you're the guy that used to own it, I would love to talk to you because this call has been super awesome to me. I've killed a handful of dogs with it. I've called in a bunch. I mean, this is just a great sounding call. Like I said, my favorite. It's made out of bird's eye maple and purple heart. I've had it for, gosh, a really long time. I just love how it sounds, and I don't think there's anything else out there that really sounds similar, and I think that's part of the reason I have such good luck with it. This is not a mass-produced call that you can just buy off the shelf and anybody can buy. Like I said, to my knowledge, this company does not make these anymore. I prefer hand calls. To me, it takes a little bit more skill. Don't get me wrong, it's still not it's still hard to kill a coyote on public land, especially pressured public land with electric call. But I think the hand calls take a little bit more skill, and it's just a little bit more fun. It's one more skill that I have to learn. So I prefer hand calls, but I will definitely take in the electric call. Now, the stuff that everybody's probably really interested in is my rifle. This is a Savage Bmag and 17 WSM. Now the reason I picked this gun is because it is the fastest rimfire cartridge available. I shoot the 25 grain bullets, and it shoots them at 260 feet a second. They make a 20 grain version that goes at 3,000 feet a second. The 25's just shot better for me. Excuse me. I absolutely love this gun. It shoots really well for me. I've got it sighted in an inch and a third high at 100 yards. So 1.3 inches high at 100 yards. And the reason why is that makes it zeroed at 150, and at 200 yards, which is my absolute max I'll shoot out with this caliber, it's 3 inches low. So basically I can hold on the chest of a coyote at any distance, and I'm gonna be within lethal range. This gun is a killer. I've killed a couple with it. To be honest with you, I'm not like a super duper predator hunter, and again, most of what I hunt is super pressured, so it's tough to kill dogs. But everything that I've pulled the trigger on with this, I've killed. So first dog I ever killed with it, I was with my buddy on private land actually, and I shot a coyote right between the eyes, and I mean dead smack between the eyes at 100 yards. It just popped its head up over the hill. I got it in the light, identified it, and lights out for it. Really enjoy this gun. I highly recommend it if you have to use a rimfire where you're at. I really don't think it'll get better. And another cool thing is, if you're a fur guy, if you keep the furs, this is probably the most fur-friendly round you're gonna get. I mean, this is gonna work great for foxes, it's gonna work great for coyotes, it's gonna work great for, I even shoot coons with it, and it doesn't really blow them up too bad either. Now, a squirrel, it makes mincemeat out of, but anything bigger than that, I've had nothing but great success with. On top of it, I've got a Redfield scope, and this Redfield is something I picked up used off a guy, I don't even know how long ago. It's been a great scope though, it's plenty bright. Before that I had a BSA 17 WSM caliber specific that had ballistics drop compensating reticle, and it was an alright scope. It had illuminated reticle. It wasn't nearly as bright as this Redfield, and actually all of those reticles really screwed me up in the moment when things were high intensity, high adrenaline. I like the idea of having just one crosshair to focus on. It's easier to me, especially with that 150 yard zero. I don't have to worry about doing anything besides putting the crosshair on the chest of the Coyote and pulling the trigger. So I think this is definitely going to be a better option for me. This will be my first season with it, but I think it's going to definitely be a better option. This is the mount for the gun light. I'll go ahead and actually screw that on so you guys can check that out. I mean, that's what my gun looks like sitting in front of me. Of course, the bipod is extended. The bipod is a Swagger bipod, and I kept seeing these on TV. To be honest with you, TV advertising sold me on this. I kept seeing them on TV, and I like the idea of a lot of adjustability and being able to move and pivot without extra noise or sound or having to put any extra attachments on the gun. And it is everything that I've ever wanted it to be. I love this bipod. Matter of fact, muzzleloader season, I take it off this gun. It gets put on my muzzleloader for me to take with me while I hunt. I think it's probably about the best bipod you can get on the market. Not used a ton, but I've used enough that I think this is probably the best you're gonna get. They have newer versions. This is the, I think, Gen 1. They have now a Gen 2 with 3 or 4 different versions. Again, I'll put links to all of this stuff in the description so you can check it out for yourself. The WSM uses a rotary mag. The rotary mag is kind of a pain. I'm not a super big fan of it, but it is definitely functional. I've not had any issues with it not cycling, it not loading. I've not had any backfire issues or anything like that. You notice they make, or the WSM Bmag, they made a pencil barrel, which is what this is, and then they actually made a heavy barrel. My buddy has a heavy barrel version. It's a very accurate gun. He likes it a lot. I shoot the pencil barrel because I didn't want the extra weight. Also, very accurate gun, and I like it a lot. So really, it's just whatever you want to do, whatever you want to spend money on. I mean, you can't go wrong. I think the 17 WSM is a great caliber, especially if you're relegated to rimfire only. That's my predator hunting kit, guys. You're gonna see some predator hunting on this channel for sure. I'm trying to figure out how to film it, or the best way to film it, but I think I'm starting to figure it out. But you're definitely gonna see some predator hunting on this channel. I love to do it. Like I said, a good buddy of mine got me hooked, and it's just been a blast ever since. So I think that's gonna be it. If you guys have any specific questions that I didn't cover in this video about my predator hunting setup, just drop them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you watching. I will definitely catch you on the next one. Peace.